good, y'all? My name is Rorvis Paradox, aka Docs Brando, and I'd like to walk you all to another installment of Rorvis Reviews. Happy Halloween, everyone, even though this is gonna come out the day after. That doesn't really matter. It's still the spooky season regardless, so had to go on and throw on the super suit. But we got another great review for you. This is gonna be one of the few times where I do basically an album analysis over one particular artist's work, and that doesn't really happen too often. But I try to think, what could I pair with this new Tyler album? But I thought it was probably best to give it its own stage, its own review. So that's what you're getting today. Make sure you're in the comments liking, make sure you're sharing this content. With all that being said, let's get into it. The album that I'm going to be talking about today is 2024 Chromakopia by Tyler the Creator. Now, I just want to kind of go into the background of how I even found Tyler the Creator, because like many of you, I know that you have either, your start was probably Bastard, or in my case, random MTV when you're younger and you see some dude eating a cockroach in the music video, and I didn't understand yet. It didn't click for me. So I was just like, dude, who is this dude? Get this out of my face, bro. But it wasn't until when I heard his verse on Trouble on My Mind by Pusha T, where I was like, oh, he actually can rap. Like he really get down with it. And that's what made me start giving his music more of a chance. And so this is where I really get into more of Goblin. Was okay. I didn't really listen to Bastard. Wolf really had me. Wolf had me in a chokehold. I was like, okay, totally understand now. Then you get to Cherry Bomb, which is so unique and blaring, but like in some songs it's just like, oh, this is perfection. Other places like, bro, I'm not listening to this. Like it's a good album, but like it's not. It could be better in some areas, but I understand why he made it that way. Then you get into Flower Boy, which is an exceptional piece of work. I'm not a big fan of Igor, but I can say the production is good on there, but I don't really like it. Not gonna lie to you. Then Call Me If You Get Lost. Oh my god, what a magnum opus. What a way to really show that you can be next to your peers and whatnot, and all that leading to this wonderful album that he dropped on a Monday, so we can have time to enjoy it for the whole week. Dropped it early in the morning, but either way, I ended up listening to it at night. But my listen was great, and I enjoyed it, and I've already spun it multiple times now. Now, for me in particular with this piece of work, I tried to avoid the single. I tried to avoid the listening session and talking about the guest appearance, the features on the album. I did all that because I truly wanted to be surprised, and I wanted to immerse myself into the album. The production on this album is truly interesting in my personal opinion. I think a lot of production is unorthodox. I think that some of the songs don't start how you think they would. Like you're waiting for the beat to drop or the bass to kick in, and just like keeps it going to a point where it's like kicks you from under your feet, and you're like, oh, there you go, finally. But it's never bad. It's still giving a good vibe, but it's just like you're waiting for the other shoe to fall. And then what's really interesting, since I brought up Cherry Bomb earlier, that this album feels like a more polished version in some of the songs based on how blaring the production can be, but it never sounds bad. Like it never sounds like messy. Like it's always very it's like an alarm going off, but like you don't get mad about it. You're kind of enjoying what's going on and the sounds that are coming from it. Now, what I truly do love about this album, that it is his most honest album ever. And Tyler has always been somebody that kind of reveals certain things about himself throughout projects, but this one, when you take out the braggadocio portions of this the album, is truly a good self-reflection from a talented artist that's a veteran in the game now. Tyler himself even said that this is the first album where like everything I said is true it's so honest. I think I had to wear a mask of my own face to get some of that shit out. And I agree to what he to his sentiment. This can be shown in the subject matter and the topics presented in the album. And then when it is, what's so cool about this is because, like I said earlier, Tyler's always kind of told us some things before, but it wasn't until now that he realized, oh, like, y'all don't know my past. Like, y'all don't know, like, y'all don't know, like, my upbringing. And I think that's just a cool, like, self-realization to then put forth into the work that you're giving out to your fans. And this just it's either gonna make you a bigger fan, or it's just like either it's like you don't care, it don't really matter, so it's not gonna bother you, or it's like there's plenty of ways a lot of people can take it, but it's definitely I appreciate the effort to bring us in more into his lore. Now this is further highlighted in the use of his mother throughout the album. Tyler's mom talks before, in the middle of, and even at the end of some of the tracks on this album. And sometimes it's advice, sometimes it's just her being honest to her son. I'll go in depth on that later on into the video, because there's particular songs that go into that. And then many people, including myself, are in the belief that Tyler was inspired by Kendrick Lamar's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers album, a polarizing album that dug deep into many touchy subjects where Kendrick let loose a lot that's been going on in his life and talked about many other topics. Tyler has spoken out highly of this album and says, more people should be that willing to open themselves up to certain subjects and topics instead of trying to be, the toughest guy in the room. But I don't think this is the only Kendrick album that inspired Tyler for this project in particular. I think I feel like traces of Damn and even Good Kid, Mad City played a role in like the sprinkle, the garnish on top of this crazy album that Tyler has produced here for us. Now, with all that getting said, it's time for me to get into the highlights. Now, getting into the highlights is going to be track by track. Some of these songs I'll go more in depth of. Some of these songs is just a little gist of what I got from that song. So without further ado, the first track, Saint Chromia, phenomenal intro track, definitely set the tone correctly. This is the first thing we hear is his mama's voice a bit, and then you get into Chromakopia. Then you get this marching sound of soldiers marching to it, and just a great start to the album. Really gets you into the feel of it production wise, multiple layers to it. It's just something that definitely gets your mind right and prepares you for the journey that Tyler is about to take us on. Ratatata, braggadocio raps from Tyler over a nice beat. Very simple. This is something that we're becoming more familiar with from Tyler in this new era that he's been in since basically Flower Boy. Flower Boy is from Flower Boy to now has definitely been more bragging, more like success driven Tyler. That is good to hear from a more mature Tyler in the way he raps and things of that nature. So cool song nonetheless. The next track, the single that I avoided, Noid. Beat has an interesting pattern. It's just the way it just starts off, and the way that it just, there's a certain repetition going on with the drum pattern that just like it just catches my attention. The song's about him being paranoid based off of the Noid, and just very simple in certain areas, but just definitely gives off the feeling of what he's going through, and kind of sheds light to his experiences, because as he said before, not many people know his upbringing. So when he starts talking kind of street nigga type shit in some areas, this is where he's like, yo, I'm really from LA. I'm not like from the burbs, and like I'm from like around the way. And this is just like one of those moments where it kind of just like it eases into like where he's from and who he is. The back end of the song is just chef's kiss. That right there is just, it just gets into a pocket that's just great. A lyric that's just been, that kind of just stuck with me is, so just strap it up before they fuck around and strap you. And it's just like that type of talk from Tyler, just like the fuck. But like it's a good surprise to hear from Tyler, and just a, you know, a really good song. It's one of my favorites, but not like the favorite. It's a good song, definitely something that got my attention. The next song, Darling I, featuring Tizo Touchdown. Beautiful production and great hook, you know. Then Tizo comes in on the back end, is singing his ass off. It's just like an excellent pairing, and it's the second time of them going around together on a Tyler album. So cool song, no problem. I know this is probably some people's favorites, but it's not one of mine, but it's a good song. Now the next song that I want to talk about is Hey Jane. Now this is an excellent storytelling track from Tyler, something that Tyler doesn't really showcase too often, but Tyler is definitely a great storyteller when it comes to that, and that's just based off of the artists that he favors or were his influence when he was younger. But I digress. To get into it, the song raps about the woman that he's had relationship with, and she's found out that she is pregnant, and it's from both of their perspectives. And how it starts off is just like, hey Jane, and it's like a repetition of saying her name constantly, and going through the perspective of a man, but like not like a man to just say just kill it off rip, but like, you know, from the perspective of somebody that's like, you know, this was an accident, like this was a surprise, was something I wasn't expecting, you know, and something I'm not necessarily prepared for mentally, but like if you want to keep this baby, I'm with you. Like it's nothing. I know we weren't really expecting this, you know, this is just supposed to be a fling, but if you want to have this child, I'm with you, because you're the one that's going to be dealing with the effects of bringing a child into this world, meaning physical, mental, emotional, everything that encapsulates, you know, the changes of her body that come with being a mother. And he's just like, wherever you're down for, whatever you want to do, I'm not going to judge you or nothing. It's just like, so what are we going to do? And then the second verse is from Jane's perspective, and how like they feeling the same type of way, and but like this is going to be her second time. This could be her second time aborting, and she don't really know, and like her biological clock is telling her like to keep it, because you may not be able to have a child later in life. And it's just an interesting song to really listen to, and it's really good. Like production wise, it's just like it's smooth, it eases you into it, and it's just something that's just, it's really stuck with me, especially in this era, the time we in, with abortion rights always at the forefront, always being threatened of being lost because of conservatives and other people that want to be in women's business. But I don't want to get to politicking right now. Either way, I think this is a very excellent song from Tyler, and shows a lot of the maturity that he has gone through over the time, and just an excellent track overall. Now the next song, I Killed You. This beat is just hard. I can hear like the Neptune's influence on the first half of the beat. The second portion of the beat is lush and beautiful, ends like it's sung by a singing group, you know, just great raps. And while I love the repetition of every time he says I killed you, or I thought I killed you, I'm getting hints of like young Eminem, like, because Eminem has a song called Kill You off the Marshall Mathers LP. So I don't know if Tyler had some inspiration off of that, but I definitely kind of sensed it coming from there, especially from Eminem being a huge influence for Tyler early on into his career. Now the next song, Judge Judy, hook is just catchy, just gets me in my feels, just start want to dance a little bit, or like nod my head. It's just like, I won't judge Judy, and just like, but the production is great. It turns up a notch in the second half for just a moment that just kind of just like spikes and gets into like this Ozzy brother level feel. Vocals from Childish Gambino on this song, and it's just like when he starts making his presence known, just like that's when you know the song is really getting to that next level. The song is about a woman that Tyler is having a fling with, and it's not supposed to be going too far, and then, you know, they just having some fun and just getting to some, you know, the shenanigans you do when you are in that space with someone of, you're trying to get into that type of relations with, you're just trying to get down, get busy, and whoever they're into, you're into, y'all mix them together, and hopefully both of y'all nut. That's what the gist of that portion of the song is. But also about her like stepping away, stuff like that. It's just a really good song, and the layers of it is really interesting as well. But this is just one of those, just definitely a song that I came back to a couple more times. Now the next song that I want to talk about that is definitely a huge highlight on the album is Sticky, featuring Glorilla, Sexy Red, and Lil Wayne. This is probably my favorite beat on the album. It's such a fun and bouncy song. The beat is just so fucking hard when it drops. Like, all the features did their job. Glorilla snapped, Sexy Red did her thing, and then Lil Wayne, everybody just, they didn't really have that too long of verses, but like they hit you with a couple great jabs, right hook, left, and got out of there. The back end slows down, gets on some southern type shit that blends into the lush production that Tyler has been known for. This is really just the best beat from start to finish. It's just great overall, and just some notable lyrics that came from this song that have been stuck in my head. Just like, Tyler saying, nigga give a fuck about pronouns, I'm that nigga and that bitch, real as fuck. Glorilla saying, these bitches trying to scrap, but I'm knucking if you bucking, ho. Sexy Red, bitches mad but can't beat my ass, run it up, ho, run it up. And then Lil Wayne saying, standing like ovation on business occupation. Just like, I don't know, it's just like everybody was able to just give me something to just give me the stank face, and just like, I was just surprised about the appearances, because I avoided the track listing. I avoided who's gonna be on the album, and before a couple of days ago, each of the track listings was, the features were hidden. So like, when I heard all their voices, I was like, Glow, Red, Wayne, bro, just excellent song, excellent, easily one of my favorite songs off the album. Now, Take Your Mask Off, the next track, gorgeous production, just gorgeous. This song is Tyler rapping some real shit. It's just like, each verse is like a small short tale about a person scared of being themselves due to a plethora of reasons, and these reasons could be, community or culture based off like what a man should be, how tough he should be, especially he's coming from the any rough neighborhoods, or the preacher that's been gay his whole life, but because raised in the church, the lifestyle religion says you shouldn't be this way, is trying to portray the good man and good man of faith, quote unquote, and this leads to him on the side messing around with either young men or young boys, or other men, stuff like that. Just like, and then other examples as well. It's just like, but the hook itself is really the key to it all, talking about I hope you find yourself, I hope you take your mask off. And it's just like, it's so hopeful, like, it's a lot of negativity that's going on within the song about like the story of these people having to hide themselves, but just that simplicity of the lyrics talking about just, I hope you take your mask off, where you can be free, for you can truly be yourself, is something that a lot more people and a lot more artists should strive for. And it's just a very memorable moment on the album, again showing Tyler's maturity, his growth, and it's just such an excellent song. I think that last verse is him to himself, but I'm not too sure, but that's what I was feeling. But overall, excellent song. Now the next song, Tomorrow, a beautiful song about growing old. The strings on this beat, oh my god, it's just, the guitar strings are just, love it. I love that sound. The song starts with his mom asking when will she get a grandchild, and this is a conversation that many of us have had to hear from our parents. I know I have. It's just like, I have to hear, oh, I'm gonna be old and gray by the time I get one from you. And it's just like, yeah, might be, but not just that. It's about the song itself is Tyler rapping about his friends having kids and starting families, while he's just he has his material possessions, his cars, etc. And it's that self-reflection of am am I living life like I'm supposed to be? Like, why don't I have a kid right now? And there's a plenty of reasons for Tyler not to have a kid, not being ready mentally, not having the space for them, not wanting the space for them, and just it's a whole bunch, and it's understandable, you know. There's so much that takes raising a child, so just bringing it into the world without any like real thought is something that many people, you know, lack. And I know I feel the same way as Tyler, so it's just like, it's one of those things that I wish that there have been more understanding towards it. But excellent song, great off rip. Now another one of my favorite tracks on this album, Thought I Was Dead, featuring Scuba Q and Santiago. Now this insane production on this is just like off the wall, just hard hitting. The hook is extremely catchy, just like, them niggas thought I was dead. You niggas thought I was dead. You niggas thought I was dead. I was in here dancing like Jeff Hardy to this shit, man. Oh my fucking god. The horn that goes off before the bass kicks in is just like, everything is just bombastic. It's just high energy. It's just like injected into my veins. Like, this is just a great track, and Tyler's rapping his eyes off, talking this shit, and then you have Scuba Q go on here and just started sliding. It's just like, makes me wish I need more Q and Tyler together as a, maybe I don't need like a whole project, but like they need to be on each other's music a lot more. I think there's only like a handful of times that they have worked together truly, but them two together, they really get into it. Love this song top to bottom. There's nothing else I need to say. Great track. The following track, Like Him, featuring Lola Young. The song starts off with Tyler's mom saying Tyler has many of the same physical traits of his father, and the song is about his conflicting emotions he has towards his father. You know, Tyler's father wasn't in his life, and this has affected him because, you know, how do you feel towards someone you've never met but know is supposed to be important to you? This song feels like Tyler's condensed version of Father Time by Kendrick Lamar off of Mr. Morale, just because, you know, the daddy issues that stem from the lack of having a father. Tyler's mom then at the end of the song talks about it was her fault that Tyler's father wasn't around. Her decisions led to the fatherless life that Tyler had. She apologizes and says that Tyler's dad wanted to be in his life and that he's a good dude. And that kind of just stuck with me at the end, because there's a lot of times where in one case the father that's not around wasn't a good dude and chose to leave and things like that. And on the other hand, there's cases where, you know, the baby mama is the stem from it, and there's a lot of honesty that she gives to Tyler that, you know, some women aren't too courageous enough to give, to have the understand, to let their child know that, you know, things just happen, so it's just us, you know, it's based off of what I did. It's not about you, it's not about your father, it's just something that I chose to do. And it's that accountability that, you know, a lot more people should have and should strive for. So I do appreciate Tyler letting his mom speak on that and giving us a song that's, I think, will be very memorable and necessary for a lot of people to hear, because this situation is probably not the first and it's not going to be the last. Now the next track, Balloon, featuring Doechii. Now this sampled Uncle Luke, I Wanna Rock, so it was a great flip in my opinion and a good use of Luke's vocals in certain sections. Tyler was just in his bag production wise and rapping wise. Bouncy ass production, just pure high energy that just like instantly got me hooked. Doechii spaz. Doechii's been trying to get on a run based off of the project she just dropped earlier in the year that I loved. And this one right here is exactly the same. She's in her motherfucking Duffy talking her shit. She probably got the most memorable line off the song with talking about some, I'll air this bitch out like a queef. Like, who the fuck thinks of that? What is wrong with Doechii? Doechii, you's a nasty motherfucker, but that shit cold. It's so cold. Like, how can I hate that line? I can't. I love it. I'm gonna start saying this. Balloons is so fucking tough, dog. I can't not love it, man. I Hope You Find Your Way Home is the closer track for this great album that I just went through. it goes through some of the topics that he's rapped about, so it's kind of just wrapping things up. Towards the end, Tyler's mom says that she's proud of him while she's just in tears. You can tell, like, she's really trying to like hold her composure, but she's like, it's not like she's wiping boogers. It's just like she's really teary about talking about her baby, talking about her boy that's in front of the world and telling him to to keep shining. And I think that's just beautiful. The album ends like it started, with Chromakopia, Chromakopia, and that's it. That's every track. Now, like I said, some of these tracks I didn't go too far in depth because I didn't really need to, but overall Tyler gave us a very solid project that I am going to be coming back to a lot often. I don't want to say it's my album of the year because this 2024 has been such a great year for albums, and this is coming on the back end, so like I need more time with this, but I do think it's going to end up high in my rankings. You just wait for late December. You will get the end of the year docs review, docs list. It's going to be great, but this is definitely one of those projects that made its claim in 2024, and making sure people know 2024 is just one of them years. Favorite songs off this album: Thought I Was Dead, Sticky, Balloon, Take Your Mask Off, Noid, and Like Him. That does it right there. Now, the reason I did this album, very simple. It came out this week. It's going to be one of the most talked about albums for the rest of the year. So it was really simple why I wanted to talk about it. Plus, it's from an artist that I highly enjoy, an artist that I always look forward to listen to their albums. So it's pretty simple why I checked it out. But now I got to ask, how do you feel about Chromakopia? Is it one of the best albums of the year? Is it your favorite Tyler album? Is it top 3 in his catalog? Is it overrated? Is it not that well produced? Is it just very simplistic? Is it just not what you wanted from Tyler at this time in his in your life? Let me know in the comments below how y'all feeling about this new album, because I really love it and I would love to discuss it further in the comment section. This has been Rorvis Paradox, aka Docs Brando, and I'll see y'all again next time. Peace.